First slide there, yeah. Yes. Oh.
කරන කට්ටියව ගන්නවා.
Yes, it second correct. Good luck, Dinank.
We will be starting our session in a few minutes, allowing participants until we start.
Experience gaming with the lowest latency SLT mobile fiber. Slow.
Power your passion with limitless speed. SLT Mobitel Fiber.
Let's discuss how area and volume are connected. Let's move to the next example.
Experience gaming with the lowest latency SLT Mobitel fiber.
Power your passion with limitless speed. SLT Mobitel Fiber.
Let's discuss how area and volume are connected. Let's move to the next one.
Empower your child's learning journey with SLT Mobitel Fiber. Power your workspace with SLT Mobitel Fiber.
Experience gaming with the lowest latency SLT Mobitel fiber.
Good evening, everyone. It's an absolute delight to welcome all of you to SLIoT Introductory session. We are thrilled to have you join us as we embark on this exciting journey into the world of IoT. Our Zoom meeting is underway and we are streaming live on our YouTube channel. I'm Ifada, your host for tonight's session. Together, We are stepping into the SLIoT Challenge, a platform that empowers innovators, unleash creativity, and drive groundbreaking innovation into the world of IoT. So, let's dive in. Before we officially begin this session, it's my honor to introduce Dr. Kuthila Gunasekara, a senior lecturer at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, University of Moratuwa. As a true visionary and a pioneer in the field of IoT, Dr. Kuthila has played a key role in inspiring innovative solutions and empowering future leaders. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Kuthila Gunasekara as he delivers the welcome speech.
Thank you. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, sir, you are.
All right. Okay. So once again, thank you for the kind words. So to all of you, good evening. I take pleasure in welcoming all of you to this introductory session of SLIoT Challenge 2025. This competition, which we've been running for quite a number of years now, is the result of a collaboration between three parties. University of Moratuwa's Computer Science and Engineering Department, the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, and SLT Mobitel as our main sponsor. And on behalf of the organizers of this event, I would like to welcome, first of all, our keynote speaker for today, Professor Chathra De Silva, professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at University of Moratuwa. And representing SLT Mobitel, our sponsor, we have, I believe, Mr. Yadav Mathiyaparana, General Manager, Product Marketing at Mobitel. And we also have Engineer Niru Veerasinghe from Sri Lanka Telecom, who is part of the broadband product team. And also the organizers of this competition, from the batch 22 of CSC. And finally, the most important people here, the young innovators of Sri Lanka, the ones that we want to nurture through this competition to go forward and build innovative Internet of Things-based systems. So with that, once again, I warmly welcome each one of you and thank you. And I would like to hand over to continue with the session.
Thank you, sir, for those encouraging words. For those who are not yet registered, please fill out the registration form to provide your individual details. If you have already registered, there's no need to fill it out again. Please note, this form is for individual registrations only. Team registrations will be conducted as part of the proposal submission process. Before we move on, a quick reminder to participants. Share your questions via the Slido link provided. You can either scan the QR code displayed or use the link shared in the chat. We will address them during the Q&A session. We will give you 5 to 10 seconds to scan the QR code. Feel free to ask any doubts you have during the session through the Slido. Now, it's time to hear from a distinguished expert in the field of IoT. We are honored.
SLIoT Challenge is Sri Lanka's first and largest event, bringing future creators of IoT to the forefront of innovation. Organized by University of Moratuwa and powered by SLT Mobitel. This year's theme of Industry 4.0 invited young minds in school, undergraduate, and open categories to unleash their creativity and showcase their talent in providing marketable IoT products with a special focus on solutions for sustainable energy consumption using cutting-edge technology.
We are from the University of Moratuwa engineering faculty, and we are developing the Aqua robot, the IoT autonomous vehicle washing robot.
We are third year undergraduate student from University of Peradeniya, and we have developed Impacts. It's an impact monitoring and tracking system developed to help athletes from developing brain diseases such as CTE and Lewy body diseases.
We are freezers from SLIoT Research University, and we have developed a product to tackle the problems we faced in normal traffic controlling systems.
I'm from
SLIoT Challenge is Sri Lanka's first and largest event, bringing future creators of IoT to the forefront of innovation. Organized SLIoT Challenge is Sri Lanka's first and largest event, bringing future creators of IoT to the forefront of innovation.
I hope you all feel inspired by those highlights of the SLIoT Challenge 2023. Now, it's time to hear from a distinguished expert in the field of IoT. We are honored to welcome Professor Chaturadi Silva, a senior lecturer at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, University of Moratuwa. With extensive expertise in smart technologies, computer vision, and artificial intelligence, Professor Chatura has been a driving force behind the advancement of IoT in various industries. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I believe I am audible to everyone.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, first of all, let me congratulate all the participants of this year's competition and also wish you all the best in your taking up this challenge and leading through us the championship. Not only the victory of the competition, but also the experience and the knowledge that we are going to gain through this exercise. So let me share my slides. I think you need to enable me to share the slides. Right, thank you. Right. So what I'm going to talk about today very briefly is about what is IoT actually, because there are different opinions about IoT, different perceptions about IoT. So I'll talk about a little bit of history of IoT and also what IoT exactly is in very simple terms, and also how it would evolve and how it evolve as a ecosystem, right? Not only a single device or single system, but as an ecosystem which connects many things together to make our life better. So the term IoT means Internet of Things, right? So actually, it's a new concept. Relatively new concept compared to other technologies, but the technologies behind that are already matured. It's a concept built on already matured and well-established technologies. Most of the you later see that most of the things that we do, most of the platforms that we use and most of the technologies that we use are already they have been in the industry for several years. And what IoT is trying to do is to bring them together under a new perspective and make it a more helpful product. And it focuses on two main things. One thing, a network, in this case, the internet, right? And various things that are connected to the network. Those things means either sensors, which can sense the physical environment, the real world environment that we see. It could be a force, it could be light, it could be current, it could be voltage, it could be sound, or any other physical phenomenon, and then convert that into an electrical signal or an electronic signal later, which can be processed by computers. So that's sensors. And also actuators, which can do the reverse of that, which can receive an electrical signal from a computer systems and then convert that into some sort of a physical phenomenon. So IoT is having these things and connecting them together to do some useful work through a network, which is in this case, the internet. So internet, we all know that internet was originally intended not for human, I mean for people, right? People to communicate to each other through computers. Later, it became something which can connect more than computers or more than people. So it became a network of machines, and not only network of machines, a place where one machine can communicate with another machine to take some smart decision. So that's how this IoT came. So if you go back to the history of IoT, it starts in a very humble way, right? So the first recorded IoT device, so IoT, it was not called IoT at that time, but the first recorded device which has the similarity of an IoT system came in 1989 at the Carnegie Mellon University in United States, where they had a vending machine. You know those can vending machines? I mean, you find in even in Sri Lanka in hospitals and various places where you put a coin or put some money, and then it automatically delivers you a drink can of your choice, right? So there was a Coca-Cola vending machine, which was sort of delivering, dispensing Coca-Cola cans. So they found that in the university during certain days where there are a lot of students, the machines run out of cans frequently. So the delivery mechanism had a very routine delivery. So in those days, the machine goes out of cans, but you have to wait until the next delivery to fill that, because there's no way that the delivery company to be informed about this current stock level at the machine. So some people got together and devised a system where a small gadget connected to this vending machine, actually they modified the vending machine so that it can send a signal to the delivery company, the drink delivery company, when the machine goes out of, or when the stock level, or the number of cans in the machine goes below a certain level. And for that communication, they use what is called the ARPANET, right? That's the early stage of internet. I mean, ARPANET was something, gradually came the internet, right? It was not called internet at that time. It was a network of research and academic institutions connecting together, right? And not using fiber or broadband or things that we see today, simply based on analog telephone lines, using modems and communicating at very slow speed. You don't believe the speed was something like 300 bits per second or 600 bits per second, not even a kilobits per second, right? So that was the first recorded system that resembles the concept of IoT that we are using today. And in the early 2000 later, when there were new technologies coming in, one was the RFID technology, or the radio frequency identification technology, which is again was built for some other purpose, which facilitate identifying devices without any physical contact, right? So it emits a radio frequency beam, and a reader can read that radio frequency beam, and that beam can transmit a unique ID saying what that device, what that component is. And then also it doesn't need power, a power source for the radio frequency ID device, because it can generate the power through the transmitters, the receivers transmitting antenna and the electromagnetic field are surrounding that. So that was a leap ahead in this, that facilitated this technology, because now with that, you can have a device which has an embedded processor without any power source, a battery or something like that, but from the power provided through electromagnetic radiation by external reader, you can activate that and it can transmit information about that itself. And also there were things like the cellular communication networks that were becoming popular, make the connectivity available, because before that, the connectivity is only available through conventional telephone lines, which was expensive and difficult to manage, slow speed, etc. But cellular networks make them to be more mobile, right? I mean, so they were the infrastructure started to build in early 2000. So that gave a lot of technological background and virtually powered the connectivity aspect of these smart devices. The term Internet of Things was introduced in around 1999 by one person called Kelvin Alston. And initially, So what he said was that, okay, now earlier initially the internet was for people to communicate, people to people communication through computers, of course. And then now we have machine to machine communication. For example, in our early example, 1989 example, the vending machine telling the stock management computer at the delivery company saying that, okay, you need to have a new delivery schedule for this particular vending machine. So it's machine to machine communication, and based on that, the stock management computer can take a decision and even arrange the delivery plan, modify the delivery plan based on that. So it's machine to machine communication. So with that, the transformation from people to people communication to machine communication, the name was given as Internet of Things, because now the internet is there. It's not only the computers that are getting connected to internet, various other things are going to be connected to the internet. And there were various other commercial drives also. For example, Cisco came up with the concept called Internet of Everything, but due to various reasons, they didn't capture the market. So the concept of Internet of Things, which is open, captured the market and gradually grew up to what we use today. And if you look at today, IoT is something that we use almost every day, very often without even knowing that. If you look around yourself, I can guarantee that you will be using at least 2 or 3 IoT devices with you. Now, for example, if you take your mobile phone, it's a phone, right? I mean, it's something that's meant for voice communication, but very often you use that for things other than voice communication. I can give you one example. When we were of your age, the TV was becoming popular in Sri Lanka. If you take a newspaper advertisement for a TV, I mean, they would talk about various features of television. For example, they would say this particular TV will give you color pictures. At our time, there were black and white TVs and color TVs, 2 categories at 2 different price ranges. And it will say it will give very clear pictures, it will have very clear sound, and this is the size of the screen, and this is the number of channels you can watch through that, various things about TV, how you watch TV better using that particular brand or particular model. Nowadays, if you look at the advertisement of a TV, take a Sunday paper and see the advertisement, I mean, it will talk about various things that you can do. You can go to Facebook, you can go to YouTube, you can do various other communication, games, etc. And probably only thing that it will not say about is that you can watch TV using that device, even though it's still a television. Same with your phone. If you look for an advertisement for a phone, I don't think you will find that saying that you can make a call using that. Right? I mean, it has a camera, it has the resolution of the camera, it can take videos, it can do AI-based image processing, various things, but very hardly it might say you can take a call using that device. Right? So that's how this has transformed. Right? So all these devices, all these things that we use, ranging from your TV or microwave oven or air conditioner to sometimes even the ceiling fan that you might use, or even a smart light bulb that you use at home, or a smart light switch that you use at home, everything is actually part of this IoT world. In fact, if we look at how these devices are spreaded, right, we see that, I mean, they have been used in 3 basic domains, subdomains. Because the focus, the way that you use those devices in each of these subdomains, and the factors that you need to consider when you build a device for these subdomains can vary to a certain extent. One end, we have what are called consumer devices, right? Things that you can go to a shop, go to a gadget shop and buy off the shelf, and then also start using right away from where you buy, from the moment that you buy it. In most cases, you don't even need to configure it. You simply get it, plug it to a power, and provide with your net credentials for logging to a broadband network, or put a SIM into that one, and it will start serving you with whatever it is required. Things like your TV, smart fridge, for example, are good examples for those things. And then also there are commercial things which are not used by individuals. Again, Internet of Things components, but are more centered around a particular business operation, right? For example, a transport company might have a fleet tracking mechanism based on IoT. So those are not things that you buy off the shelf from a shop, but you buy, you configure them, you install them, and then you connect it to your own platform for various processing purposes, right? So that's another subdomain of IoT devices. Then we have the third domain, which is industrial subdomain, where you use IoT to automate your production process or factory processes, right? For example, factory automation, and also to make your manufacturing to be more smarter, right? And also to remotely monitor your machinery, right? For example, you might have a machine and you might have several gadgets which will monitor the performance of the machine and even try to predict that it will fail, it is going to fail in future, or it requires maintenance, something like that. So those are in an industrial perspective. Now they also have a different focus when you design it, because you have to be make them to be reliable, more reliable. Sometimes people's lives might depend on that. The safety precautions has to be made. We have to ensure that the device is working in a potentially correct way. For example, it might be controlling the engine of an aircraft, right? So you have to make sure that the IoT device itself is functioning in a proper way. If it fails, there can be hundreds of lives which are in danger. Even if you, for example, if you do some research, you'll find that there were incidents where these devices went wrong and at the cost of several hundred people's lives. For example, the Boeing's 737 MAX, the new version of the aircraft, had a software bug actually in one of its IoT systems, control systems called the MCAS system, and that resulted the crash of 2 almost brand new aircraft before they found the fault, right? So likewise, the focus will be somewhat different again when you go for industrial sector. And also, even if you take the consumer sector, the IoT has changed the way that even the repair has been done. Right? Now, for example, if you take a modern car, especially European vehicle, right? And let's say you have a car and your headlamp is not working. You have LED headlight, and it is not working. In an old car, you can simply go to auto spare parts shop, tell them the car model, and they'll give you a new bulb. And you come and you replace the bulb or the connector, whatever the component that is driving the bulb, and the new bulb will start working. But in most of the new modern cars, you can't do that. Even if you buy that component and and plug it to the car, it won't light up. The reason is that the part need to be customized or programmed, usually we call coded to meet the specification of your car. Every car has a unique specification in that context. So typically you need to get it to an authorized garage. They will connect it to a scanner. The scanner, on the other hand, get connected to a server in the manufacturer. And through that, it will configure the bulb to work exactly the way that it is expected to work in this particular car. Not only that, in the particular country, under the particular driving conditions. Now, for example, if you take Sri Lanka, we have right-hand drive vehicles. The same bulb, which is used in a left-hand drive vehicle, need to focus the light in a slightly different way. So that configuration will be done remotely by a server with the manufacturer. So that's how these things has changed in this particular subdomains. To look at this bit further, and also to understand the ecosystem nature of an IoT device, let's take some examples. Right now, recently, you may have also noticed a press release by the government which says that in cities like Colombo and popular cities, during heavy traffic hours, the police department is going to switch off traffic lights and then use police officers to control traffic. The reason is that in most places, these traffic lights has been installed several years ago, and they have been programmed in the sense to allow traffic flow in a particular way. I mean, you prioritize certain roads, certain junctions, etc. Based on the statistics of vehicle movements that was at that time, maybe 10 years back, right? Now the traffic patterns have changed, the number of vehicles have changed. So when you have these traffic lights operating the same way as they were used to be in the past, they create more traffic jams rather than helping the traffic to clear off. So because of that, until they are reprogrammed, the police has said that they will not use them, they'll switch off and get the police officers to handle it manually. Now, in an IoT-enabled world, this will never happen. The reason is that in IoT-enabled world, the traffic lights will be not pre-programmed to work on a particular statistical pattern. Instead, you will have, say, various sensors mounted in the road network. For example, you might have the vehicle detectors, what are called the ground loop sensors, mounted on the road surface, which can detect the presence of a vehicle in a particular position. They will also have cameras, CCTV cameras connected, which will be recognizing the vehicle, maybe the vehicle number plate, the type of the vehicle, the size of the vehicle, the speed at which the vehicle is traveling, etc. And based on that, all those information will be transferred to a central traffic control center, which will analyze those vehicle information and then use that information to dynamically control the traffic light, depending on the dynamic environment that prevails at that particular time. For example, if a particular road has no vehicles waiting to cross the junction, it might not provide the green line at all to that particular junction, right? Or else there are only few vehicles, it might give a little small amount of time. If there's an ambulance approaching in one of the road, right, it might readjust the traffic light so that the road get cleared, that particular road get cleared so that the ambulance can reach the junction much faster than the regular pattern. So all those decisions will be taken by the control center. And there's one more important thing. You might think, okay, if the vehicle is not, if there's a particular vehicle, what if a vehicle has broken down, has a mechanical fault on top of the sensor, right? So that fault will trigger a vehicle always in that particular junction. Even with the green light, it can't move. So that the entire system might not work. Even that won't happen. The reason is the traffic center here will not depend on a single sensor to take its decision. In fact, it will be collecting information from multiple sensors, tens of hundreds of sensors. It might even collect information from Google, etc., on the vehicle movements with people, because there will be people inside this vehicle with a Google-enabled phone, Android phone, and all those information will be used to filter out any outliers. So even if one sensor is faulty, if one sensor is giving false information, still the system will statistically correct. So that's one example that IoT devices, machines together, working in collaboration to provide some useful result. Let's take another example. Now, let's assume that looking at smart railway, right, system. Now, for example, suppose that you are from, let's say, you travel to LA during weekend and you try to return in your train, right, particular train journey. Now, if you look at some of the recent news articles, you have seen that at particular certain days where, especially at the end of the long weekend or something like that, there are long queues in the LA train station, people trying to get into the train. That happens because the train does not get any advance information about how many passengers are expected to be on that train. So they can't, so as a result, the railway department can't deploy additional resources to the station to clear their ticket check-in faster. And also, when planning the train, how many carriages to be included in the train, all those information may not be available with the department. But with smart solutions, this information can also be captured. With a smart ticketing system, they will know how many passengers have bought ticket to that particular railway, particular train journey. And with the people who have checked in from the previous station, they will know how many passengers are already in the train, right? And all those information can be used to plan in advance so that we can reduce the passenger waiting time at the station. And also we can make the journey to be more safer even, right? Now, for example, this, at a railway crossing, level crossing, the train can detect, the track can detect the presence of a train. It can measure the speed. It can detect the vehicles, whether they are in that particular area, right? And then decide when exactly to close the barrier before the train arrives, giving sufficient time for vehicles to stop, any approaching vehicles to stop as well, right? Even if there's a vehicle broken down on the railway track, it can alert the train driver well in advance so that he can stop the train, avoiding any disaster. So that's another example of how these things happen. Now, if you look at some of these sensors are already available. For example, there are level crossings that works automatically from a local setup. There are sensors, what are called relay sensors on the track, and that is linked to a particular local controller, which will close the barrier gate coming closer. But the difference is that that's a very mechanical kind of a thing. It doesn't look into the context. Right? Now, for example, in a particular day with a lot of traffic, you might want to reduce the time that the gate is closed. to minimize the traffic condition in the road. At the same time, you might want to, if there are more vehicles waiting at the gate, you might want the train driver in advance so that for him to be prepared for a particular emergency, or he can drive the train through that particular gate at a slightly reduced speed. So all those technically, let's say technically smart decisions can be taken when you have connectivity between these sensors and when we share information with each other. Another example, if I take a very hypothetical example, will be smart cities, right? Now we all know that garbage collection is a problem in many of the cities, right? And it is a problem because it's very difficult to predict how this garbage collection has to be planned. Because sometimes the garbage truck might read a particular collecting bin and the bin may be empty. Or in certain cases, the bin may be overfilled because it is not collected at the correct time. So with sensors mounted on these bins and a central tracking system tracking where the garbage collecting trucks are in the network, system can plan it so that the collection can be done in a very optimized way, right? In the same way, it can conserve energy in street lighting because you can have smart street lights which will light up automatically when there's someone around that. For example, the light might stay on for till about 10 p.m. After that, it might change into a smart mode where it will light up only when someone is on the road. If there's no one in the road, it might either reduce its power intensity and conserving power, or shut down altogether to reduce power, minimize the power consumption. All those things now that can be again linked with the traffic light system. If you have a smart traffic light system, that can be linked. The traffic light systems of different junctions can be synchronized together so that most of the vehicle will see green light when they are traveling. Right now, you see that a lot of traffic lights. Sometimes you always get red light, right? You get really annoyed when you always when you are trying to go fast quickly to a particular appointment or particular event, and every time you get a red light. And you see that there's a green light on the other road with very few vehicles, right? So those things can be avoided. You can manipulate the traffic flow even, right? To make certain roads to travel fast, etc. by coordinating across these junctions using a smart traffic light system. So in an IoT ecosystem, you might get these small systems working in a locality, right? Again, as a collaborative with machine-to-machine communication, and then those systems getting at another layer, those systems getting connected together to or even optimize their collective effort in managing the final outcomes that you are expecting. It can also help you in your homes. The houses can become smarter, right? So it can vary from smart lighting, which optimize your energy use, smart air conditioners, which will not make sure that the optimum comfort level of environment is made with the minimum use of energy, right? It can have smart locks, smart security systems, smart garage doors, which opens automatically when your vehicle comes, but not open when someone else's vehicle comes. Smart bathroom appliances, which will reduce the water wastage, all those things. Now, these things can function as individual sensors or as one collaborative network of sensors, because you will see that their objectives are sometimes linked to each other, right? For example, the air conditioner might switch on 5 minutes before you arrive. The way your car might send a signal to your house automatically, saying that you are close to your house based on the GPS coordinates, and the air conditioner might become switch on automatically, or will switch on your water geyser at the bathroom so that you can get a hot water bath as soon as you arrive at home. Right? So likewise, they can communicate with each other to build a better requirement. I'd also like to share one of my own experience in doing this, which was done in a desperate situation. Couple of years back, we had the Aragale, under which in aftermath, we had a lot of shortages like electricity shortage also. At my own place, I had a solar power system. But the problem is in the solar power system is that in a usual on-grid grid connected solar power system, when there's no power, the system also shuts down, right? So even though I have solar power, even if I have sunlight, and when there's electric disruption from the main grid, my solar system also shuts down. I don't have electricity. And also I have it only during the daytime. During night time, I don't have. So I had to find some alternative. And fortunately, I got hold of some old batteries, which are which have been removed from hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles. And based on that, I try to convert my inverter, grid connected inverter with some certain components into a hybrid inverter, which also can function as solar inverter and as well as which can provide charge battery and provide that battery power during power outages and night time. Right? So the problem here was that I was having old batteries which are already aged and having poor performance, and even during the daytime I was using very little electricity and I charged the batteries, but within in the night, I mean within very short period of time, the batteries get depleted because my energy management was not efficient. When the batteries are there, when sunlight is there, I try to charge the batteries, and to prevent the battery becoming overcharging, I had to stop charging at a much lower voltage. And also when it get discharged, I have no energy management. Again, they get discharged very fast. And also there's another issue that even if I have larger battery capacity, I mean, if I charge it, I mean, when the electricity comes back in the evening, late night, I still have to keep the charge available, because in the following day, if it's a cloudy day, I might not get sufficient sunlight to generate electricity, so that my batteries, I have to preserve my batteries capacity to support even the daytime, right? So how to manage this? So what I did was that I got a Raspberry Pi board, and I connected sensors, made some couple of sensors, current sensors, voltage sensors, etc., and connected them all to the Raspberry Pi board. Now with that, I can measure all the parameters. I can measure how much of electricity I'm getting from the grid, and I know the power cut schedule also. And I can measure the how much energy solar panel are generating, and with some of my statistical information of the past few days, I can predict even how much energy will be generated. I know the battery status of each individual cell, and I know the domestic load, and that pattern can also vary depending on the temperature. The air conditioner or fan might take different amount of power, and depending on whether the weekday or a weekend, my energy usage on cooking, etc., and the domestic energy demand might change. All those information, I will have the current information as well as some of my historical information for past few days stored in my Raspberry Pi from the sensors information I got. And also I can connect to the Google weather service and get a weather prediction for the following day and the day after. So what I did was I wrote a small program which will get this all information, combine them together, and predict how much energy I would need in the following day, depending on the weather forecast, my energy usage, battery voltage level, etc., and then manage the available power in the battery based on that. Now, for example, if tomorrow is predicted to be overcast or cloudy day, I might want to preserve more battery power in my batteries for tomorrow's use, right? If it is a day like a weekend, my energy usage will be higher. So again, I might want to preserve more power. In a regular day, I might even with the presence of the electricity, I might not get electricity from the grid, but I might use my batteries so that I get a lower electricity bill. So this system is still working. I mean, I did it during a couple of years back, still working. And the batteries which I got, which were fairly old batteries, I would say even discarded batteries, are still functioning without any problem, without any notable performance degradation from that particular date which I installed them. So even a very simple solution like this, the amount of benefits it can bring is huge. So what you need to do in developing this is to think out of the box. Now here I had all the equipment I used for this are conventional equipment that were intended to perform in a different way. My inverter was a conventional on-grid inverter, which was intended to perform in a different way, right? My electricity wiring was done in a conventional manner. The batteries were meant for electric vehicles, not for this kind of solar system. My solar panel arrays voltages were set to optimize with the energy production in a grid connected manner. So by simply modifying these things, or not even modifying them, by attaching certain sensors to collect information in some cases, and then writing a software to manage that information, I was able to get much more outcome from that. Because you need to, if you can think out of the box and think, okay, is there any different way of using this particular equipment? Is there any improvement I can do to that equipment, or any modification I can do which will make it more smarter? So that's what you need to think in doing that. And also, when you look at this IoT as a ecosystem, there are multiple layers of devices. There are multiple levels of devices that are available. We know that there are two things. One is the things, the other one is the internet, right? And there are different things that you can do at things level. There are different things that you can do at the network or the internet level. Now, things are made out of sensors and actuators primarily, right? They are the eyes and ears and hands and legs of the devices, I would say, because they sense the physical world. And in most cases, the physical world is sensed either as a mechanical force or motion or light or some sort of a force applied on certain thing or temperature change, or which is initially converted to either current or a voltage, and then that is being measured electronically. So that's how the sensors work. And then you have the hardware interfaces which connect to these sensors, like the serial bus, the peripheral interfaces, parallel, bit logic interfaces, parallel interfaces, serial interfaces, or local buses like I2C bus, etc., CAN bus, etc., which works in the locality, right? And then those information that you capture will be processed by usually a local microcontroller, right? So these microcontrollers are again programmable devices which can run an algorithm, but they have limited capacity, right? And so the processing that they can do, we call it edge processing, because that's the processing done at the boundary, right? The boundary between the physical world and the electronic world. And our focus when you write a program at this point, at the edge, is also different, because here these devices may be battery powered, right? If it's battery powered, one of your primary concern is not to do the most efficient processing, most fast processing, but do the processing in the most efficient way, such that with the minimum amount of energy you can process it, so that your batteries would last much longer. And how you conserve your energy, right? When it is not, the processing is really not needed. And that's why your remote controller will need to, you need to change batteries only every 6 months or 1 year. Otherwise, you may have to change batteries every day, right? And then these devices, how you make sure the reliability, because by nature, these physical devices, they are subject to physical forces, they may be not reliable. So how to make them reliable, how to make them sort of self-diagnostic capabilities, etc. So that will be your focus. And here you are not focusing at how to run a complex AI algorithm inside this microcontroller, anything like that. And that is where you need a different focus. So through the internet, you can also connect these devices to platforms that provides faster processing powers, like Google, Amazon, Huawei, Azure, etc., various platforms that can provide you enormous amount of computing power. And that's the place where you can run the intelligent part of some of the more decision-making part of your entire scope, like the computer vision, voice recognition, or natural language processing, data analysis, machine learning, etc. In certain cases, you might do certain machine learning in the edge, but in more common cases, you would do that at the internet layer, where the computing power is easily available. So one part of your design would be how you partition your entire scope into these two levels. If you mix it up, if you try to do too much of processing in the edge or too simple processing in the internet, you might come up with a system which is not optimal, which is not optimized, which is suboptimal, right? So that's another thing that we often forget when you do IoT project, but that is very important to make your project a commercial success and a technological success in both directions. And also, you also need to look at because what the products that you are developing, if they are to be commercializable products, you need to look at the real environment. For example, what component do you use? How easy to find those components? You might build up a product using components taken from a damaged radio or damaged robot or damaged some other component, equipment. But that is good for a project, but that is not good for a product. Because when you want to go for mass scale manufacturing, you will not be able to find damaged radios or anything like that to support your production. So how you source those components, right? And whether those components can work in the environment that you expect, in the physical environment, under temperatures, heat, light, etc. Right? All those things has to be thought about when you design your system. And in most cases, you will find that these factors are much more important than some of the technical, hardcore technical factors that you might even think about. Then again, another aspect that you have to look at is the security of IoT and other security and other challenges. For example, you might have a device which works with Bluetooth. You have a door lock which works with Bluetooth. If that door lock is not well protected, a thief might open it very easily. I mean, you might see in videos how the cars were stolen in certain countries, like in South Africa, right? Because the vehicle has a lot of IoT devices, sensors and actuators, which are connected to the CAN bus in the car, connected to a network. For example, when you open the door, when you press your remote control button to open the door, that is received by a signal. The signal is received by a receiver in the car, which sends a signal to the door lock through the CAN bus, the common bus controlling bus, which will open the door lock, right? And some thieves found that, okay, even the headlights and the signal lights are, or certain illumination components, or even sometimes the vehicle horn is also connected to the CAN bus. So they can simply access these connectors through the wheel arch or under the buffer or under the bonnet or something like that. And through that, they can simulate the signal that is coming from the remote scanner and very easily get the car door open without even scratching, without even little bit of scratching on the car's body, right? So that provide them access, and when the door is open, car thinks it's the legitimate key access, and you can simply drive away within a couple of seconds, right? So that's why protection, the security is very important, especially when you are connecting through internet, right? And not only that, even the physical security. Now, they were able to access the car through that because the headlight connector was accessible from outside, right? And also, sometimes you might, the visibility of devices, you might buy a device which without knowing that it is IoT enabled device, right? For example, your TV at home might have a sensor which can sense the surrounding audio, right? I mean, your TV might have a microphone built into that. The purpose of that microphone may be to measure the sound level in the environment and adjust the TV's volume automatically to meet the optimum hearing level, right? But someone can hack into the system and make it that a spy device, right? Someone can hack in and have some mechanism, because you have a program. If you can access the microcontroller in the TV, you can reprogram it, plant a program into that, which will capture all the sound discussions in your living room and then transmit it to some other place, right? So because of that, you have to make sure that to prevent those things, you have to make sure that your communication in your device is well secure, and also physical access to the device is also secure, so that no one can plant anything in the device, software or hardware inside that. Then again, privacy, because IoT depends on collecting information from multiple sensors and then sending it to one server to collaboratively process that, statistically process that, and come out with an outcome. So these sensors will collect personal information. You use an Android phone or iOS phone, and Google knows wherever you travel, right? So if that information, that's in a way your privacy, right? It affects your privacy. So how you control that? How you control the data exposure, the data collected from different sensors, how you control its exposure to other people, so that those data cannot be misused for any other bad purposes, right? So all those things are also critically important when designing a system in the same level as the technological development that you look at, right? And also the technological issues, because most of the technologies, components, certain things that you use with IoT are relatively young. People doesn't know their limitations, people doesn't know the dangers of their, ranging from even a battery charger, right? I mean, for a lithium battery, if you don't manage the charging properly, it can catch fire, and that will be very difficult to control, right? All those things you need to be very careful when you design your system, and those are again selling points. I mean, if your device is very secure, it's very privacy protecting, it's very safe to use, it's not a hazard to anyone, then those will also be marketing points that you can talk about your design, not only the technological advancements. Finally, why we put this much of emphasis on IoT? So this graph, it's a little bit old now, 2 years, but still shows the projection of the IoT market, right? By 2027, the IoT revenue, industry revenue is supposed to be $483 billion, right? It's growing very rapidly. And number of IoT devices in the world will be several fold of the population. That means each person may be using several devices, right? So that's a market outlook that we are looking at. And I would like to conclude my speech with one thing. In 1996, we won the Cricket World Cup, right? But we have been playing cricket for a long time. I mean, some of the schools, Colombo schools, were having their big matches for more than centuries, 120, 130, 150 years, right? The Cricket World Cup was there for several years before, since several years before. But at that time, cricket was played only at restricted places. Certain schools in Colombo, big cities, etc., were playing cricket. It was not a game where everyone was playing. We won Cricket World Cup when cricket became a popular sport, such that when we were kids, we used to play cricket on the roads in the evening, right? Now the students don't do that. I mean, they are glued to their Facebook account or video games or something like that. But we used to play cricket on roads, right? Children used to play cricket on paddy fields after harvesting, right? When cricket became that popular, when cricket became a sport that everyone is playing like that, we won the Cricket World Cup, right? So if Sri Lanka as a nation, if you want to conquer the IoT world, we need to make sure that IoT is something not everyone is using, but everyone is developing. Everyone is working with IoT in a productive way. And that's why these competitions, this knowledge, this participation is important if we are to have a future for our country in this particular technology domain. Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best in this competition. We can take a couple of questions if there's any.
Participants, please share any questions you have regarding this session. Thank you, sir, for this inspiring information and for sharing your vision with us. I'm sure everyone here found it immensely valuable. And participants, if you have any questions, please share them to the Slido link provided. Now, let's lighten things up with a fun engagement session. Get ready for the ultimate showdown of IoT knowledge you have gained from Professor Chaturadi Silva's session. Ovindu, our game master, is here to lead a Kahoot quiz that's packed with challenges, excitement, and a chance to show off your skills. Over to you, Ovindu.
Thank you, Ifada. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you guys had an very insightful session where you all learned a lot about this technology, which we call IoT. So, while the screen is loading, while the game is loading, let me brief you on the game that I'm going to do for you today. And it is a Kahoot quiz. So I'm sure many of you have tried out this Kahoot quiz, but for those of you who haven't, a Kahoot quiz is a quiz that we all can interactively join at the same time, and you all will have to answer 10 questions, and you will be awarded points based on getting the right answer. But for the Kahoot quiz, getting the right answer is not just enough. You also have to get the answer as fast as possible. So please scan the QR code or enter the game pin as soon as possible, because there are only 50 spots available for you to take part in this game. And I would also like to remind you to name your Kahoot ID as the name that you have in the Zoom meeting. I once again would like to remind you to make your Kahoot name the same name that you have on your Zoom name. So once again, there are 50 spots remaining. And another thing that we would like to tell you is the prizes that we have at the end of this quiz. So the top 3 winners of this quiz will stand the chance to win some cool prizes after the game. So please make sure that you register and take part in this game. A kind reminder to name your Kahoot ID as the same name that you have in the Zoom meeting. And we would also like to mention that once we have completed the quiz, the winners are kindly requested to take a screenshot of their screen and send it to the contact that we will provide. Again, I will repeat, once we have judged the winners of the quiz, we kindly request the winners to take a screenshot of the screen showing their position and send it to the contact that we provide through WhatsApp. So we have 10 spots remaining. So all of you who haven't yet joined the quiz, please head on over and scan the QR code or enter the game pin and join the quiz. So for those of you who missed the earlier announcement, you will be a judge. You will be given points based on how well you answer the next 10 questions. And it's not just getting the question right or wrong. You'll also get more points based on how fast you answer the question. So good luck to all of you, and I hope you answer everything correctly and as fast as possible. So we have about 4 spots left for this quiz. So we will give about a minute for one more person to join the quiz. And again, we would like to remind you, if to rename your Kahoot ID as the name you have on Zoom. All right, I think we are ready to start the game. So let's move on to the first question. The The first question is, what does IoT stand for? It's a bit of an easy one to warm things up for you. What does IoT stand for? One second left. Let's look at the answers. And it looks like almost all of you have got the correct answer. And IoT stands for the Internet of Things. So let's move on to the next question. And we'll also be able to look at the leaderboard. And it looks like Kavin and Savindya and all of you guys are on this is a very close battle between all of you. So let's see who takes home the awards that we have for you. So let's move on to the next question. So which of the following is not an IoT device? Which of the following is not an IoT device? Well, this seems like a bit of a tough one. And the correct answer for which is not an IoT device is a laptop. So the laptop is not an IoT device. So it seems like, and there has been a change in the leaderboard, and we can see Kavishka has come up in the leaderboard. So let's move on to the next question. How does IoT contribute to environmental sustainability? How does IoT contribute to environmental sustainability? Well, again, majority of you have got this answer correct. And IoT contributes to environmental sustainability by monitoring and helping optimize usage. So let's move on to the fourth question. Initially, the internet was for which type of communication? Initially, the internet was for which type of communication? Well, the correct answer for this question is people-to-people communication, as mentioned in our keynote speech today. So let's move on to the next question. What is a smart home in the context of IoT? What is a smart home in the context of IoT? Well, I think all of you have got this answer correct. Well done, everyone. And halfway through the questions, let's take a look at the leaderboard, shall we? And it looks like Lakindu, Dineshara, and Nilum are leading halfway through the quiz. And we encourage everyone to try their best, and you still have a shot at the leaderboard. So let's move on to the next question. Who coined the term Internet of Things? Who coined the term Internet of Things? Tim Berners-Lee, Elon Musk, Kevin Ashton, or Paul Baran? Well, again, this was something mentioned in our keynote speech today. And the person who coined the term Internet of Things is none other than Kevin Ashton. So congrats to those of you who got that correct. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. How does IoT improve the railway system in a smart railway? How does IoT improve the railway system in a smart railway? Well, I think most of you have got that correct. And that is by ensuring safer journeys and shorter waiting times. And let's take a look at the leaderboard, as this will be the last question that we will be looking at the leaderboard until the end of the competition. And currently we have Lakindu and Hiroshika leading the leaderboard. And let's see how it changes at the end of the competition. And we'll see who the winners of this Kahoot quiz are. So the 8th question, what is the prize pool for SLIoT 2025? What is the prize pool for SLIoT 2025? This is something that I'm sure many of you are going to be very interested in as you take part in this competition. What is the prize pool for SLIoT 2025? Well, I think many of you have not got that correct. The prize pool for SLIoT 2025 is 7.8 lakhs. So all of you are going to compete for this prize pool of 7.8 lakhs at SLIoT 2025. So let's move on to the next question. What is the primary purpose of IoT devices? What is the primary purpose of IoT devices? Yes, the primary purpose of IoT devices is to connect and exchange data over the internet. And let's move on to the last question of today's quiz. And let's see who takes home the prizes for today's event. So which of the following is a challenge of IoT? Which of the following is a challenge of IoT? Well, almost all of you have got that correct. And these are the challenges of IoT, mainly device compatibility, data privacy, and network security. Challenges that you will undoubtedly have to overcome as you take part in SLIoT 2025. And I'm sure that all of you are very capable and will definitely be able to produce a great project for this competition. So now let's take a look at today's leaderboard and see who walks home with the surprises that we have for you today. On 3rd place, we have Rocks. In 2nd place, we have Hiroshika. And in 1st place, we have Lakindu. So congrats to all 3 of you. And we would like to remind you to take a screenshot of your screen to verify that you have won today's prize and send it over to the contact that we have put in the Zoom chat. So once again, please take a screenshot of your screen and send it over WhatsApp to the contact we have shared on the Zoom chat. So now we will be sharing with you what these 3 winners today have won. And I think And our winners of this quiz will be walking home today with none other than an Arduino Uno board each. So again, congratulations for the winners for winning an Arduino Uno board. And I'm sure that you will find a use for this in your project for SLIoT 2025 and other projects that you have in the future as well. So thank you all for participating, and we wish you the best of luck for SLIoT 2025. Thank you and good night. Over to you, Ifada.
Thank you so much, Avindu, for that fantastic game session. Let's congratulate our winners once again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce a representative from our esteemed sponsor, Sri Lanka Telecom. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Niruvira Singha, Engineer in Product Development and Management at SLT, to share a few words on behalf of SLT. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So, first of all, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay, sure. So, I would like to share my screen with you all. So, I hope the presentation is visible to you all. So, anyways, first of all, it is a very challenging and actually a nice evening with joining with you all. So, actually, even we enjoyed the previous sessions, the questioning sessions and all, and also the latest advancements which were delivered during the speech. So, however, so I would like to give a little brief on what is our aspect, what is SLT's aspect on this entire thing. So, along with all these technological advancements, easy availability and affordable broadband internet connections, and the penetration of smart devices, IoT has been broadly adopted in the business and personal lives. So, this SLIoT challenge, which is conducted by University of Muratua, will be one kind of a major event which is encouraging the technological sector to develop IoT based applications to suit all these consumer needs. So our as SLT, as Sri Lanka Telecom Orbital, our key objective is to reward and further develop a pipeline to this tech talent and critical skills among young Sri Lankan youth. So this SLIT challenge will provide an ideal platform for us as well, to SLT Mobitel as well, to invest in these technological innovations for applications into the new realm of IoT based products developments in this real world for consumers. So with this competition, the target audience would be the undergraduates, academics, the startups, and the SMEs, to encourage them to come up with solutions that would help the customers to digitize their lifestyles and businesses, with particularly focused on operations and including all these connected assets and buildings and all. So, if I just give a brief on our collaboration, actually in this challenge, in this SLIoT Challenge 2025, we are partnering with the University of Muratua and IESL to encourage the technological sector and the many innovative and entrepreneurial minds of this country to look beyond the present and take Sri Lanka into the future. And it will be an ideal platform for to demonstrate and to endless opportunities and challenges involved in this emerging IoT concept. So for that, I will give a little brief on what we offer. So we have this SLIoT. It is an IoT platform and all these mobile and BIoT networks for transmission. And also we have, as SLT Mobitel, we have currently launched this fiber to the room concept with Wi-Fi 7 technology, and we have all this industrial expertise to support all these competitions and all these productions, and also the business links to further enhance these products. And also this SLIoT lab team, which is a collaboration of SLT Mobitel and the UOM. And also, if I just have a little recap on our portfolio, we have got this SLT fiber, the wired connections, and also the 4G connections, like wireless category, and also launching the 5G solutions as well. So you will be able to get all this information from our website as well. And also, here I have mentioned some latest releases of SLT Mobitel on this unlimited internet experience for
Excuse me, ma'am.
anyone. Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. We are
Yes.
seeing the first slide only.
Yes, that's so okay. There has been some issue then. So now, can you see that I have
Yeah.
changed?
Yeah.
Okay. So, however, I think there had been some issues. Somehow, I think I will not waste much more time of you all, because and so I think I have given a little brief of what is our what is our responsibility in supporting SLIOT's challenge. So, anyways, I would like to express our heartiest congratulations and wishing you all good luck to carry on this challenge to this entire event very well, and will help in any of the ways that are possible, and wishing you all the very best to deliver very innovative products to Sri Lanka. So thank you all for giving us this opportunity to give our ideas as well. And thank you so much. And really sorry for this presentation slide thing. So with that, I would like to wrap up my presentation and wishing you all a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Niru, and a heartfelt thank you to Sri Lanka Telecom for being a pillar of strength for this initiative. Moving on, we are excited to introduce the official SLIoT Challenge 2025 website, a one-stop platform for exploring IoT innovations, resources, and insights from past challenges. You may visit the site through the link provided. Now, let's dive into the core of tonight's session. To walk us through the SLIoT Challenge 2025 competition structure, proposal submission process, and team registration details, I'm delighted to invite our esteemed chair, Pawan, and the co-chair, Kavisha. Get ready to explore the exciting opportunities ahead. Over to you, Pawan and Kavisha.
Thank you, Father. Am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Okay.
Yes, Pawan. You.
So, good evening, everyone. It's so exciting to see so many of you are here today for the SLID Challenge 2025 introductory session. We warmly welcome you. If you are a student just starting your tech journey, or if you are someone with a real passion for tech, you are in the right place, and we are really happy to have you with us. As you saw before in the video, we just launched our official website for SLID Challenge 2025. Let me share my screen. Hope you can see my screen. Okay. First of all, you can search SLID like that and hit the first link, and you can go to the website of us. So you can find it. You can type it also as slit.csc.mrt.ac.lk. So, what is SLID Challenge? I know you are really keen to know what is SLID. The SLID Challenge is an annual competition organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the University of Moratuwa with the support from SLT Mobitel and the Institution of Engineering Sri Lanka, as Dr. Kudla said. The goal is simple: to bring together people like you, creative thinkers and problem solvers, and see how you can use IoT, Internet of Things, to solve real world problems and also the problems in our country. For those who are new to IoT, Internet of Things, it's all about connecting everyday objects, Internet through the Internet, making them smarter and more useful. For an example, we can refer to vacuum cleaner bots. We now got vacuum cleaner bots, automated, and it's a product that was built by people like you initially. And that's exactly where you come in. This competition gives you the chance to create something that could make a really difference in IoT. So in the website, you can see what in the what is a SLID challenge paragraph. There are 3 categories. Okay, there are 3 categories. First one is school category, and the second one is undergraduate category, and third one is open category. So if you are a school student, you must compete in school category. If you are an undergraduate student, if you are in a university, you can compete in undergraduate category. If you are a graduated student or you are you are a really enthusiastic person who love IoT, and you are not going to you are not going school anymore or any university, you can compete in open category. So no matter where you are in your journey, there's a category for you. So we want to see what you can do, whether you are just starting out or you already have some experience in tech. We want to see your ideas come to life, how creative can be, how useful your solution is, and how you can use technology to solve problems. Like you can use Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and Node MCUs depending on your choice. It's not just about having a great idea, it's about making a real impact for the country as well. Let me provide some brief explanation on what the process will be. Here's how it works. You can directly register as a team and submit your proposals. Form a team of up to 5 people and pick a leader to stay in touch with us. Once your team is set, you will submit a proposal to share your idea and how you plan to bring it to life. Kavisha will explain more about the competition process, more for sure. And also, we'll offer workshops both in person at the University of Morocco and online to help you sharpen your skills and get advice from experts in our university and the industry. The competition will have a few rounds, and the final will take place at the University of Morocco. So the best project will win part of 7.8 lakh rupee prize pool. But remember, it's not just about the prizes. This is an opportunity to meet others and learn new things and make a difference in the Sri Lankan community. So think big, and most importantly, have fun with the process. This is your chance to create something amazing, and we can't wait to see what you come up with. Best of luck to you all, and let's make SLID Challenge 2025 one to remember. By the way, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Don't worry, we will answer them as much as we can at the end of the meeting in the Q&A session by having a Q&A session. Thank you. Now I'll hand over the chance to Kavisha to talk about the structure of the competition. Over to you, Kavish.
Thank you, Pawan. Hope I'm audible enough and my screen is visible.
Yeah.
So let me continue from where Pawan stopped. So when we talk about the prize pool we have for the SLIoT Challenge 2025, for the school category, for the first place, we are giving 100,000 rupees, and for the second place, we are giving 50,000 rupees, and for the third place, 30,000 rupees. And for the university category and open category, we are giving 150,000 rupees for the first place, 100,000 for the second place, and 50,000 for the third place. That is how our 7.8 lakh prize pool is distributed in the given 3 categories. And as Pawan said, here in this SLIoT Challenge 2025, we are expecting you to develop a product for a certain problem you have identified in order to solve that problem, and you have to integrate IoT. So the product should be in the scope of IoT, and you have to integrate IoT in that case. And so let me explain the event timeline in brief. So now we are in the registration period, and registrations are open, and you can give the individual details of you to get registered and get into our WhatsApp group, in which we put everything related to SLIoT Challenge 2025. So if you haven't registered yet and haven't showed your interest yet, you can register by simply including your small details in the Google form we have given. Then now we are in the introductory session. So after the introductory session, we are planning to open the proposal submissions in from 10th of January 2025. So the proposal submission procedure will be explained to you later by our selection committee, and we are hope to end the proposal submission within the month of January, so you will get adequate time to make your proposal and submit it with the relevant details. So in the end of month of January, we are closing the proposal submissions, and we are planning to do the school category workshop within the end of January. And the university and open category workshops are held as one workshop, and will be conducted in month of February beginning. So after you have submitted the proposals, we will go through and evaluate them, and the selected proposals are announced, and then you can start working on the project and build the prototypes and other related things. So while you are working on your product, we will at the start of February, we will start the progress evaluation, and you have to submit a video which shows the current progress of your project. So you then by evaluating that video submissions and the current progress of your project, we will announce the semi-finalist in all three categories. So, and we are hoping to do the semi-finals in open and university categories within the third week of February, and within the end of February, we are planning to do the semi-finals related to the school category. So, and according to the timeline, we are planning to conduct our grand finale of SLIoT Challenge 2025 within the second week of March, and that can be subjected to some changes, slight changes, but we are hoping to do it within the month of March. That's how our timeline is planned. And going down the website, you will see some previous SLIoT showcases. You can refer them and get an idea about how SLIoT challenge is happening and what are the things we are going to conduct. And also here we have included some video tutorials and some set of videos which are conducted by the lecturers in our department, Computer Science and Engineering Department of University of Moratuwa. So that are related to IoT, and you can get a basic understanding of IoT and a basic knowledge of IoT by referring these videos as well. So we hope you will refer them and get an idea about IoT and get it to your knowledge. So you can refer them as well. So when we are talking about the organizers of this event, Computer Science and Engineering Department of University of Moratuwa is organizing SLIoT Challenge 2025, collaborating with Institute of Engineers Sri Lanka, and the whole event is powered by SLT Mobitel. So yes, you can contact us for any other details, and we have provided you the details related to delegates handling as well. And also when talking about the upcoming processes in this SLIoT challenge, after the introductory session, what you have to do is the proposal submission. So we have made some guidelines to the proposal and proposal submission template. The one thing I should mention is your team registration and the proposal submission is done at once. That means even though you have registered by showing your interest for the SLIoT challenge, you are not registered as a team. So in order to submit, by submitting a proposal, we get the team members details as well. That will be explained later. So along with the proposal, your team members details are collected. So the proposal submission, by the proposal submission, we are collecting the team details as well. So now you can get into teams, or if you are prefer to participate this individually, you can participate as a single person as well. So that thing is done in the proposal submission stage. So I'll like to invite our selection committee lead Tumasha to explain the proposal submission procedure and how you should submit the proposal and the guidelines as well. Before that, let me introduce you the rules and regulations of SLIoT in brief. Then I'll hand over to Marsha. So as you can see, these are the rules and regulations we have planned for SLIoT Challenge 2025, and we'll share this document with you as well. I'll go through it quickly. So related to team formation, each team can consist of a maximum of five members. So you can prepare your teams according to this. A participant can only be part of one team. That means no participant is allowed to be in more than one team. So each team must appoint a leader who will be primary point of contact. Hereafter, we will be contact through the leaders. So each team should have a leader. Related to proposal submission, teams are required to submit a proposal outlining their project idea and team details. Project idea plus team details should be included in the proposal. Proposal must adhere the guidelines provided during introductory session. The guidelines will be announced later. The proposal submission guideline document. Late submissions will not be considered. According the competition structure, the competition will be conducted in multiple elimination rounds. Each round will have specific evaluation criteria, and the criteria will be announced for you before the round happens. The final round will be held physically at the University of Morocco, and also some workshops are also planned to be held in University of Morocco, and where you can come to the uni and get to know the people and contact with us and get the knowledge. So regarding the intellectual properties, team retain ownership of the intellectual property. However, as the organizers, we reserve the right to showcase the winning projects for the promotional purposes of this event. Yeah. About the disqualifications, violation of any rules or misconduct may result in disqualifications. So as the organizers, we will have the right to disqualify such teams who violate the rules. The organizing committee decisions are disqualification is final. Amendments. The organizers reserve the right to amend the rules. If we need to amend the rules, we will amend, and we will surely communicate them to the team leaders. Yeah, that is the summary of the rules and regulations, and this will be shared with you as well. Now I'll give the chance to Marsha, our selection committee lead, to guide you through the proposal submission process. To Marsha.
Okay, am I audible and is my screen viewable?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Kavisha. So these are the submission guidelines. So in this stage, each team should submit their proposals, and we will approve those proposals, and only those approved proposals will be going to the next stage. Also, several workshops will be conducted to empower you guys. All the proposals should be created according to the given template. The template will be provided to you guys. And let me share this project proposal template. So here is the project proposal template, and you guys can download it as a Microsoft Word document here, and you guys can edit your own proposal. So here you can add your project name and team name and category. Next, we have the problem definition. In the introduction part, you guys can describe how did you guys find this problem, and you can clearly state what part of the problem you guys are going to solve. In the next part, in the problem analysis part, you can describe the analysis part of the problem and how you guys are going to integrate IoT, AI, automation to transform your problem into the solution. In the proposed product part, you can briefly describe your proposed solution. So you can also explain how it addresses the part of the problem. In the uniqueness section, you should describe the uniqueness part of the solution you guys are giving. And especially if there are any more already available solutions, you should compare with those already available solutions and explain the uniqueness of the solution you guys are giving to the problem. Next, in the technical details part, you should give a very brief technical overview about the solution of your product. And I should also mention that you do not need to specifically mention any technologies you will use. You just need to tell about we are going to use these sensors and we are going to use these methods to solve our problem. In the user scenario part, you should give a specific situation your product is going to be used. So it's like a user's point of view, how the user will use your product. And next, in the team details part, you should enter the team details of the team. And if you are a single person, you can add only your details. And in the additional information, you guys can add any additional information you have to tell about yourselves. And I should also mention that in the document, you should only fill these 6 pages and you should not exceed these pages given in this template. And if you guys have any more questions, you guys can ask right now in the Q&A session, or you guys can contact our delegates using those contact details. Yeah, that's it. Over to you, Father.
Thank you, Pawan, Kavisha, and Tumasha for the detailed explanation. They have shared a lot of information, and I'm sure you might have questions. This is your chance to get them answered. Feel free to drop your questions through the Slido link provided, and our team will address them. You can either scan the QR code displayed or use the link shared in the chat.
Okay, we got 15 questions. I'm not sure I will answer all of that, but I'll answer as much as I can. Am I able to register as an individual? Yes, of course. I said about it earlier, I guess. It can be up to 5 members. You can participate as individually, or you can have a team like with 2 members, 3 members. It's okay. Second question. I'm a first year BIT external student at UOM. can beginners like me manage to participate in this competition? Well, of course, why not? We provide workshops, and you can participate in that and have some learnings, and you can submit your proposal. That's okay. You can search internet. You got all the details in the internet, and also we provide the workshops, and you can connect with the industry experts and the experts in our university. You can do it. Do all team members need to register through that link individually? No. Leader has to submit the registration with along with your team members' names and details. Will the recording be provided? Yes, of course. How many members can there be in a team? I answered that. Will there be workshops? Yes. Can only one team per school can enter the challenge? This is a really interesting question. No, it's okay. You can participate. You can participate as 2 teams or 3 teams or whatever. You can, but you make sure you are not in 2 teams. Two teams. You are you have not to participate in this competition, because you have to be in a 1 team. Okay, under the school category, you have to be in a 1 team. That's all. That's okay. When would the finals be? Like Kavish said, it will be March. Yeah, probably March. Do we need pre-knowledge about IoT? No. You can participate in workshops, so you can get knowledge about from that. Kavisha will answer if there are any questions that I missed. Kavisha.
Yeah, so can beginners also join this? Yes, beginners can join. We will provide workshops, and you can learn more from YouTube and other resources, and you can, while learning and while learning new things and getting the knowledge, you can join this. So will you provide materials for project? For your project, you have to get the materials. We are providing the knowledge and the basic understanding. You have to get the materials for the project. So can you move the slide up? Yeah. Yeah, there was a question that asks about a prototype. Yes, After when in the process of submitting the proposal, we don't need a prototype. After you have submitted your idea and the proposal, we are selecting the proposals for the next round. Then you can work on the your idea and start making the prototypes and the product related to that idea. So in that time, we need the prototype. That means in the video submission and evaluation stage, we need how much you have done in the prototype making. So prototype is needed in upcoming stages, not in the proposal submission stage. So yeah, will the team get mentors? That means we have not allocating a separate mentor for each team, but you can always contact us and get anything clarified, and we can arrange some knowledge transition sessions, like things to get you mentored. So each team will not get a separate mentor for each, but you will get the support from us as the OC, and support from the knowledge persons to build up your prototype into the next level. Do we need pre-knowledge about IoT? No, not needed. You can always learn and engage with the work. Can I compete with both open and university category? No, you can compete in only one category in only one team. So you have to select in which category, which team, with which team you are competing. So how many workshops will be there? We are planning to conduct some workshop series, so physical workshops as well as some online workshop. We'll announce you about the workshops and how they are going to be happen. So details will be conveyed to you through your team leader, and you can also contact us in the future for more details. Please always be in update with the WhatsApp group and your emails for more details. Do you have to attend workshops physically? Yes, for some workshops you have to attend physically. We will announce it having some time to arrange you the things. We will announce it for you. I'm school student. Most of time school students have not much such materials. Then how can I participate this competition? Yeah, so as a suggestion, if you can form a team with about 5 of your friends, then you can participate by buying those materials you need. So your expense will be divided within the 5, so that will be some cost effective for you as well. You can try that method, and just can't the proposal exceed 6 pages? Yes, it cannot exceed as said by the selection committee lead. You have to limit to 6 pages we give in the proposal. Then how can show our project? Yeah, in the video submission, you can make a video showing the project current status. So you can video the current status of your project and showcase us. What is the time span of the entire event? Yes, we are planning to end the entire event by held in the grand finale within the month of March. Can you tell one more time about registration? Me and my group still not registered. Okay. So if you are not in the WhatsApp group we are using to convey the messages, now you can join that WhatsApp group by filling the Google form we are sending now. Delegate group lead will now send the Google form link into the chat. That Google form link is only for you, us to get you into the WhatsApp group. Okay. So after that, through the WhatsApp group, we will convey you the messages. And now, after now we can you can form your teams, or you can participate individually. Registration for teams will be happen in the proposal submission stage. As we said earlier, with the proposal, you have to send us the team members details. From that, we get the team details and register you in the team. I think you understood the procedure. If any clarifications are needed, please contact us. So here a link is provided. You can fill that Google form and get into our WhatsApp group. Through that WhatsApp group, we are updating you about this SLIoT Challenge 2025. So proposal submission will be opened in 10th of January, and we will announce that in the WhatsApp group as well. During that proposal submission, you have to make the teams and submit the proposal with the team members details as well. That is the process. Yes, I think I answered almost all questions. Is there any I missed?
There's an interesting question. Do you think there's disadvantages advantage for people doing a degree who are now only starting to explore these IoT fields? Is it too late? Unless you are very old, and if you are on 70s or 80s, it's late, I guess. But if you are a student, or graduated student, or before in your 50s or whatever, you can still compete. You can still explore these IoT fields. It's not a barrier. Okay, so it's not too late, of course. The tech world is still growing, so it's not too late, of course.
Okay, so I think we answered almost all questions. So if you have anything to clarify, you can contact one of us, and our details will be provided in the chat as well. And you can contact us and get to know any other clarifications. Over to you, Father.
Thank you, Pawan and Kavisha. Before we conclude, let's mark this moment with a virtual group photo. If you are comfortable, please turn on your cameras and let's capture this memory together. I repeat, please use the virtual background, and if you are comfortable, please turn on your cameras to take the group photo. Three, two, one. Participants, I think some of you only have turned on your cameras. Can you please turn on your cameras if you are possible? Let's wait for a few minutes until participants turn on their cameras. Get ready to capture the moment. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Thank you, everyone. As we conclude this incredible evening, I want to thank each one of you for being here and making this session truly special. This is just the beginning of an exciting journey into the limitless possibilities of IoT. We can't wait to see the groundbreaking ideas you will bring into life in this session. A huge thank you to our speakers, sponsors, and organizers for their invaluable contributions. Stay connected through our social media channels for updates. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon in the next phase of SLIoT Challenge 2025. Thank you, everyone.